These people are amongst the greatest quiz players in Britain. Together they make up the Eggheads, arguably the most formidable quiz team in the country. Question is, can they be beaten? Welcome to Eggheads, the show where a team of 5 quiz challengers pit their wits against possibly the greatest quiz team in Britain. They are the Eggheads. And taking on the might of our quiz Goliaths today are the Shottery Bears. Now, the majority of this team met whilst attending the same girls' grammar school in Stratford-upon-Avon. Let's meet them.
Hi, I'm Alice, I'm 18 and a geography student.
Hi, I'm Fran, I'm 18 and I'm on my gap year.
Hi, I'm Rebecca, I'm 19 and I'm a history student.
Hi, I'm Natalie, I'm 18 and I'm a maths student. Hi, I'm Rosie, I'm 18 and I'm a French student.
Welcome to your Shottery Bears. Now, okay, you can explain the Shottery bit to me. What about the Bears? Why have you come up with this team name?
Well, Shottery is obviously the area where our school was, and that's where the majority of us met. And then the bear is kind of like a school mascot type thing, so that's where the name Shottery Bears came from.
Okay, is it a cuddly bear? Is it native to the area? You've got bears running around
No, it is a cuddly bear. I've got one in my room at university to remind me of school, so...
Okay, so you all left school now and doing various things at university or on gap years and things like that?
Yeah, 4 of us are at Bristol University, and then Fran here's on a gap year.
Okay, and doing some quizzing together then?
Well, we partook in quizzes when we were actually at school, but then since then I'm afraid we're a bit rusty on the quizzing.
Okay, well I'm sure it'll all come together as you take on the Eggheads. Cuddly bears, this lot really, rather than Shottery Bears. Listen, every day there's £1,000 worth of cash up for grabs for our challengers. However, if they fail to defeat the Eggheads, the prize money rolls over to the next show. So, Shottery Bears, the Eggheads, have won just the last game, and that means £2,000 says you can't beat the Eggheads today. And we shall start with our opening head-to-head, an attempt by you to knock an Egghead out. And it's science to start us. Who'd like to play this? Who's the scientist?
Fran, go for it.
That's your Fran, is it? Okay, and you can choose any of those 5 Eggheads.
I think they're all good at science. Maybe Dave? Should we choose Dave?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Could we have Dave, please?
You certainly can. Dave, into the question room, please, along with Fran. So, Fran, tell me what you're doing with your gap year.
I'm actually working as a care worker for a student at Warwick, which is great, because I want to do medicine next year, so it's a great work experience, and also she's absolutely lovely, so...
Yeah, good stuff. And you mentioned there studying medicine, so that's good for the science round. So do you have all 3 sciences at A-level?
No, I did chemistry and biology at A-level, but I hated chemistry. But I soldiered through it, and so got my A-levels, which was lucky, so...
Do you think any of your old teachers will be watching?
I hope so. If so, hi. But yeah, no, they were all great. They were all great teachers, so they're partly responsible for my grades, I think.
Okay, well, let's hope you get a good grade in this particular examination. It's quite short, and it will determine whether you're playing in the final round or not. Do you want to go first or second?
I'd like to go second, please.
Really thought that through. It means Dave starts for the Eggheads. Dave, tetanus is also known by what name? Whooping cough, German measles, or lockjaw?
Let me think of this. Is whooping cough pertussis, and German measles is rubella. Tetanus is lockjaw.
Lockjaw is correct. Well done, Dave. Okay. We'll have your first question then, Fran. Which subatomic particle has a negative electric charge? Electron, neutron, or proton?
Well, it's an electron.
Yeah, really nothing to add to that.
Yeah.
That is the right answer. Yes, it has a negative electric charge. Dave, the astronaut Jack Swigert went into space as part of which Apollo mission? Apollo 9, Apollo 11, or Apollo 13?
Right, let me think about this. My gut instinct is not Apollo 11 because that was the moon landing one. Michael Collins and Buzz Aldrin and Neil Armstrong. I'm not too sure about Apollo 9, but it makes that the abortive Apollo 13 mission could be one that he was on. So I'll go for Apollo 13.
Okay, Apollo 13, you say abortive, and that rescue mission and made into a great film. Apollo 13, it is Jack Swaggart on Apollo 13. Dave goes into a 2-1 lead, but only because Fran hasn't faced a second question. We'll put that to you now, Fran. Which of these creatures is native to Africa? Sloth, wildebeest, or tapir?
Well, I don't actually know that much about this. I don't think it's a sloth. I know they have a lot of wildebeest on savannah grasslands and things like that. I'm not really sure what a tapir is. I'm going to go with wildebeest.
Just as well, have you said a lot of those on the savannah in Africa? Yes, that would be the right answer. Well done. 2-2. Dave, what was the first name of the inventor and engineer after whom the Bessemer process is named? Henry, William, or James?
Glad another name isn't there, because that would have caused me a problem, but I don't think it's William, I don't think it's James, I think it's Henry.
Henry Bessemer. Okay, that is correct. What's the other name you were worried about?
Well, I've got something about Thomas, but, you know, I'm glad that didn't come up.
But Henry Bessemer is the right answer, which means you're under a little bit of pressure, Fran, but dealt with it so far. Let's go into sudden death, shall we? Get this right. Which British mathematician finally proved Fermat's last theorem in the 1990s? Is it John Horton Conway, Andrew Wiles, or G.H. Hardy?
Oh, I have no idea. I think I'm just going to go with the name which looks most appealing. I'm going to say G.H. Hardy, but I have no idea.
Fermat's last theorem, but who proved it in the 1990s? It was Andrew Wiles. And Andrew Wiles, and that's the end of the round because Dave was quizzing first. He's already got 3, and you haven't matched that. Means you won't be playing in the final round, Fran. Would you both please come back and join your teams? Well, Fran, a lot of challenges, of course, take the first set of questions. How would you have been with Dave's? I mean, he's fine with tetanus, probably the Bessemer process, but what about that astronaut?
No,
In all honesty.
In all honesty, my strongest is biology. I love biology, but anything outside, physics or maths is just not my forte.
Yeah, and then hit with that curveball on maths, which of course Natalie would have got the maths student there. But as it stands, the Shottery Bears have lost 1 brain from the final round. The Eggheads haven't lost any such early days though, and we move on to our next subject today, and this one's geography. And I've got an inkling about who might be playing this, Alice.
Yeah, pressure's on me. I'll take that, please.
Okay, we really have to, don't you? Alice, who would you like to play from the Eggheads? Can't be Dave, any of the other 4.
CJ. CJ. Can I take CJ, please?
Yes, you can. Okay, you might have to show him the way to the question room.
Might do.
Let's have Alice and CJ in that question room, please. So, Alice, you're captaining the team today, and you're a bit of a daredevil, aren't you, what, with all this bungee jumping and skydiving and things like that?
Yeah, well, I've made a list of things to do before I die, and they were, I know that's a long way off, hopefully, but yeah, they were top of the list, so I thought I'd do that first.
Okay, so you've got those out of the way, have you? Bungee jumping and skydiving.
Yep.
What else is on the list?
Well, I'd like to go wing walking. That's
Right.
hopefully a birthday treat. Mum and Dad, take note.
Okay.
But yeah.
All right, so, well, here's another test for you. Here's another thing you would like to add to that list. Beating an egghead, I suspect, in a head-to-head.
That would be good,
That
yes.
would be good. Okay, it's geography, which is your subject. Would you like to go first or second?
I'd like to go first, please, Dermot.
Alice going first, and here's your question. Politically and economically, Iceland is considered part of which continent? Europe, Asia, or North America?
Okay, I'm fairly sure it's Europe. I just don't think it would be Asia geographically, and North America, yeah, I suppose that's the next closest one except Europe, but yeah, Europe's my answer.
Europe for Iceland. Yes, that's the right answer. Good start, Alice. CJ, Newquay is a coastal town in which county? Kent, Cornwall, or Hampshire?
As long as we get the English geography stuff out of the way first, I'm quite happy. Newquay is the Mecca for surfers in Cornwall.
Yes, it is. It is in Cornwall. So it's all square at 1-1, and back to you, Alice. Which of these countries lies on the equator? Kenya, Nigeria, or Botswana?
Okay, again, I'm not 100% sure. I know where they are in terms of, I can picture Africa in my mind. I don't think it's Nigeria, because I think that must be further north from the equator. I think I'll go for Botswana.
Okay, Botswana on the equator. It's not Nigeria, but it ain't Botswana either. It's Kenya. Kenya on the equator. So a chance for the lead for CJ. What is the capital, CJ, of Bahrain? Is it Doha, Manama, or Amman?
Always get these the wrong way round. It's not Doha. Manama and Amman, which one's which? I think Amman is Bahrain, but I'm just trying to think where Manama is. I'm a little worried here because I can't remember where Manama is. And this is all my lack of practice. But I think Amman is Bahrain, so Amman.
Okay. I think I know where Manama is. It's the capital of Bahrain.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Amman's Jordan.
Oh, of course it is.
Yeah. Right, both with wonky compasses there. Not read your atlases close enough there on the second question. Both failing with that, so that's very good news, Alice. It stays all square, and this will put you into the lead if you get this right. Which of these is a lake on New Zealand's North Island? Is it Wakatipu, Te Anau, or Taupo?
I do not know the answer to this. I'll just say that straight outright. So I'm afraid this is going to have to be a guess. Going to go for Te Anau.
Okay, Te Anau. It's not right. Anyone know, CJ?
Taupo?
Taupo is the one we were looking for, lake on the North Island. So, CJ, this will win the round for you if you get it right. What is the approximate population of Malaysia? Is it 29 million people, 49 million, or 69?
It's got to be bigger than 29 because Kuala Lumpur is enormous. It's an enormous country. I mean, even 49 seems quite small to me for Malaysia. Not sure, but I'll have to go for 69 million.
69 million, right up there, okay, populous nation, but not quite that populous. And that's quite a long way from being that populous. It is 29 million, approximate population of Malaysia. So we go into sudden death. It's all square. And Alice, to sort out a winner, we are going to remove those options. So can you just tell me, without anything to choose from, what is the monetary unit of Ecuador?
I can't tell you is the answer to that. So,
Well, have a guess.
I have no idea. I'm going to have to pass.
You sure? Have a little
Yeah.
think and throw me out a currency?
No, nothing's coming to me. Pass, please.
Really? Okay. CJ, do you know Ecuador just out of interest?
Peso?
Currency? No. Other eggheads?
US dollar, I think.
From that, it is the dollar, the US dollar. Oh dear. A blank there for Alice. So, CJ, you win through if you get this. For what does the letter B stand in the abbreviation CBD, referring to the geography of urban areas?
I have no idea. City something density, maybe? And if it's something building density? Urban would certainly fit with building, wouldn't it? I will try building.
Okay, B for building? No. Alice, do you know?
I think it's business.
Yeah, what's CBD stand for then?
Central Business District.
Yeah, Central Business District.
CJ got it in the end after you prompted him. Central Business District, B for business. Okay, well, nothing there. Unfortunately, we can't pass that over, Alice, or you'd be through. But can you tell me this? MB is the postal abbreviation of which Canadian province?
Okay, well, I'm trying to think of Canadian provinces beginning with M, and Manitoba is the only one jumping out at me, so I'm going to go with Manitoba.
Okay, got a B in there as well, haven't you? And you've got the right answer, MB, Manitoba. Great news. And CJ, Venice and Verona are located in which Italian region?
Don't know the regions, I'm afraid. What have we got as regions? We've got Tuscany, Umbria, Puglia. Don't know where any of them are. Well, Venice is up in the north, and I think that's where Tuscany is. I'll blind guess at Tuscany. I don't know.
No, CJ.
No idea.
No, you really don't. Not Tuscany. Other eggheads?
Veneto.
Veneto. Veneto. Oh, CJ, just as bamboozled there. No, it's not Tuscany, which means great news, Alice. You're in the final round.
Thank you.
Well played. Would you both please come back and join your teams? Well, that's looking better for the Shottery Bears. Both teams now have lost one brain from the final round. And our next subject today, it's film and television. Who'd like to play this one? Can't be Fran or Alice, any of the other three.
Maybe
Who do you think?
Rosie or Natalie, maybe.
Rosie?
Are you okay there?
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Rosie, it's going to be you?
Yeah.
Okay, stay with us and choose an egghead, remembering that CJ and Dave have played so far, so you can choose from Kevin, Pat or Barry.
Oh, what's that? Yeah,
Yeah.
I think they're all good at it. So
Okay, Kevin, please.
Okay, Kevin, right. See if you can wink on Kevin out. Let's have Rosie and Kevin into the question room, please. So, Rosie, tell me, how keen are you on film and television?
Well, Alice knows that I have brought a lot of films to uni in case I get bored. So I'm quite good on that, but I haven't been able to watch TV since I've got here, so I'm not too up to date. But yeah, I'm all right.
Okay, now, do you want to go first or second?
I'll go first, please.
Okay, Rosie, kicking off this film and television round, and your first question, Rosie, is this. Which superhero appears in the 2013 film Man of Steel? Superman, Spider-Man or Batman?
Well, I know it's not Spider-Man. I'm pretty sure it's not Batman. I haven't actually seen it, but I'm pretty sure it's Superman.
Yeah, the Man of Steel himself, Superman, of course, that's the right answer. Well done and a good start. Kevin, which EastEnders character was the twin brother of Pauline Fowler? Lofty Holloway, Pete Beale or Archie Mitchell?
It's going back to the early days of EastEnders, isn't it? I don't think either of the others would fit, so I'll go for Pete Beale.
Pete Beale as Pauline Fowler's twin brother. Yep, right answer. Well done, Kevin. And Rosie, which character in Neighbours was played for many years by Anne Haddy? Is it Nell Mangle, Madge Bishop or Helen Daniels?
I'm not great on Neighbours. I think I've only seen it twice. So I'll just have to guess for this one. I'm going to go with Nell Mangle. Just a complete guess.
Okay, Nell Mangle, played by Anne Haddy in Neighbours. I know you're a big fan, Kevin. Is it Nell Mangle?
That's been misreported to you, Dermot, I'm afraid. I've got an idea it was Madge Bishop, but I'm not certain.
Now, well, I'm sure Dave knows. You like your soaps, Dave?
Helen Daniels.
It is Helen Daniels. Helen Daniels, Rosie. So you're both wrong, but it's you that doesn't get the point, Rosie. So, Kevin's second question. What is the profession of Matthew McConaughey's character in the 1996 film A Time to Kill? Doctor, politician or lawyer?
No, I think that was probably the first... Well, anyway, no, not necessarily the first film based on a John Grisham novel, but it's based on a John Grisham novel, and like a lot of characters in those, he's a lawyer.
Yeah, if you mention John Grisham, you usually end up with the law, don't you? It's the right answer, Kevin, so you need to get this, Rosie. For which film did Woody Allen win his first Oscar? Interiors, Manhattan or Annie Hall?
I haven't seen Interiors. I'm a big fan of Annie Hall. Lots of my friends from school call me Annie. And Manhattan I've seen, but I don't know that well. So I'm going to go for Annie Hall.
Okay, because you're a big fan of it. You get called it. Why do they call you that?
Because I can be a bit ditzy sometimes.
Never. Let that be said. Certainly not ditzy on that answer. It's the right one. It's correct. So, it's all square, but you've got to cross your fingers. No, Kevin doesn't get this. Kevin, in the TV show Dexter, the main character works for which police force? New York, Miami, or Las Vegas?
I believe he's a technician, blood technician, that sort of thing, for the Miami police force.
Miami. It's the right answer, Kevin. You're through to the final round. Bad luck, Rosie. Just the one slip up there. But as you know, with these eggheads, it often can prove to be conclusive, and it has done so for you. It means you won't be playing in the final round. Would you both please come back and join your teams? Well, after that round, the standings are these. The Shottery Bears have lost 2 brains from the final round, and the Eggheads have lost 1. And our next subject, the last head-to-head before the final round, is sport. Who'd like to play this? 2 of you eligible, Rebecca or Natalie?
I'll take one for the team.
Okay, Rebecca, now choose your egghead carefully. Well, there are only 2 to choose from. It's Pat or Barry.
Yeah?
Barry.
Barry, okay, let's have Rebecca and Barry into the question room, please. Okay, about to play. So, Rebecca, do you play any sports yourself?
I play a bit of netball, and since going to uni, I've played an e-sport called korfball as well. So a bit, but I'm not a huge follower of sport.
I've heard of korfball. What does it involve?
Yeah, it's like mixed netball, and anyone can shoot. The goals are really high. It's kind of quite intense, but it's really good fun.
Yes, it makes a lot more sense there, you know. I mean, watching netball, it must be quite frustrating, you know, when you get into a good position and you're not allowed to shoot yourself.
Yeah, exactly. It's more fun if everyone can.
Absolutely. And I believe you've got quite a menagerie of pets. What is it? 2 cats, 2 dogs, a turkey and some chickens. Are they with you at university?
Unfortunately not. I wish they were, but no, they're all at home.
Okay, now let's play the round. You get to choose. Do you want to go first or second?
Can I go first, please?
Okay, good luck, Rebecca. First question. Which of these footballers announced his retirement in May 2013? David Beckham, Zinedine Zidane or Luis Figo?
Okay, my brother's going to be really embarrassed if I get this wrong because it would have been on the news a lot and I should know it. I don't... Oh no, has David Beckham retired? I don't know. Oh my goodness. I'll go with Zinedine Zidane.
Okay, Zizou, as his nickname is, has David Beckham retired? Well, he hasn't retired from being David Beckham, but
Oh no, he has.
retired from football, yeah. That's David Beckham. Is your brother keen on football then, I take it?
Keen enough to know that and be embarrassed if I got it wrong.
Okay, well, I'm sure you'll make up ground as we continue with the quiz. But nothing there, and Barry, your first question. Which Test cricket ground is located in Nottingham? Trent Bridge, Edgbaston or Headingley?
Well, I've spent many happy hours in Headingley, which of course is in Leeds, and Edgbaston is in Birmingham, so Trent Bridge is in Nottingham.
Yeah, many ways of getting that, and you chose that one. It's the right answer, yes, Barry? Okay, Rebecca. Which of golf's major championships is traditionally the final major of the season? The Open, the US PGA or the US Masters?
I don't know. I don't think it's the PGA. It probably is now I've said that. So I think I'll go with the Open.
Okay, the Open is the final major of the season. It's not. You've done it again. You said, I don't think it's David Beckham, and
no.
it was. It is the US PGA.
Oh dear.
The season closer in terms of the major golf tournaments. So, is this going to be the closing question in this round? Barry, the former bantamweight boxing world champion John Michael Johnson, had what nickname? Bam Bam, Bugs Bunny, or Boo Boo?
I think he had a nickname from one of the Flintstone Charles. I think he was called Bam Bam.
I was wondering where that came from. Yes, of course, yeah. It is correct, yes, and it's Bam Bam and bye-bye to Rebecca. I'm afraid there, nothing there for you. Some just unlucky, really, I suppose, with a couple of guesses there. But not in the final round, Rebecca. Would you both please come back and join your teams? And so this is what we've been playing towards. It's time for the final round, which, as always, is general knowledge. But I'm afraid those of you who lost your head-to-heads won't be allowed to take part in this round. So Fran, Rebecca and Rosie from the Shottery Bears and CJ from the Eggheads, would you leave the studio, please? So Alice and Natalie, you're playing to win the Shottery Bears £2,000. Pat, Dave, Kevin and Barry, you're playing for something which money cannot buy. Listen intently, Eggheads, because you don't know. It is the Eggheads' reputation. Now, as usual, I ask each team 3 questions in turn, and this time the questions are all general knowledge and you are allowed to confirm. So, Shottery Bears, the question is, are your 2 brains better than the Eggheads' 4? And Alice and Natalie, what are you going to do? Are you going to go first or second?
It's up to you, don't mind. Okay, we're going to go second.
Okay, hoping for an early slip-up from the Eggheads. And so the first question goes to them. Eggheads, the members of which of these pop duos were born in Dublin on October the 16th, 1991? The Cheeky Girls, PJ and Duncan, or Jedward?
Jedward, I think.
I think we have to get
the Grimes brothers.
Grimes brothers.
Yeah.
I used to think of the Cheeky Girls as being Irish, but
Let's hope they've put a plaque up for the Grimes brothers. Jedward were born in
Jedward,
Dublin.
second only to One Direction in CJ's affections. Jedward it is, yes, John and Edward
John and Edward Grimes.
Born on October the 16th, 1991. Well identified, Eggheads. I'm sure you would have got that as well, wouldn't you? Okay, but this is your first question. How old was Ronald Reagan when he became US President? 49, 59 or 69?
Definitely older than 49.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
I think even older than that. I think 69.
I think you probably have a better chance of getting it than me, so.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think he was
yeah.
getting on. I'm going to say 69.
69, I think he was getting on a bit. It's the right answer, yes, well done. 69, a year of 70. And was he the oldest president? Does he remain the oldest? Well, obviously,
Yeah,
he came after, but he was the
Oldest
oldest
to be
president.
elected, yes.
Okay, Ronald Reagan at the age of 69. Okay, Eggheads. Which of these London museums features a replica of a Diplodocus skeleton in its main hall? Science Museum, Natural History Museum, or the British Museum?
Natural history.
Natural history, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a famous centrepiece in the Great Hall of the Natural History Museum.
Natural History Museum. It's the right answer, Eggheads. You got that? Right. Well, back to the Shottery Bears. Good start there, Alice and Natalie. Let's build on it. Which DJ began his run as presenter of the popular music programme Junior Choice in 1968? Ed Stewart, Noel Edmonds, or Bob Harris?
Yeah, any ideas at all? Is it going to be?
Bob
Yes.
Harris is called.
Okay, let's answer the call of Bob Harris.
I think we're going to choose Bob Harris on a whim.
Okay, Bob Harris, you think Whispering Bob? It is not Bob Harris. No, do you know Eggheads?
Ed Stewart.
Ed Stewart. Not Bob Harris, Ed Stewart. So the Eggheads have a chance here to win the game. John Soares became the chief of which government agency in 2009? MI6, MI5 or GCHQ?
There's an implication that it's still...
MI6.
I think so, yes, because, well, as we speak, the head of MI5 is Andrew Parker, isn't it? I don't think it's GCHQ. John Soares was definitely head of either MI6 or MI5.
Okay.
I seem to remember reading it in the press.
Yeah, I think it's MI6.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well done. We're going to go for MI6.
Okay, MI6 for John Soares. It's the right answer, Eggheads. You've won. Well, the Shottery Bears defeated by the Grizzly Bears. In that final round, it's always a bit of a gamble, isn't it, putting them in first? I think you'd have been fine with their questions, wouldn't you, if you'd had the first set?
Maybe.
Yeah, well, you would have got Jedward, and you would have got that skeleton, I suspect, in the Natural History Museum. But hey, listen, thank you very much for coming along and telling us all about Shottery, and indeed, good luck with your studies in the future. Thank you very much indeed, Shottery Bears.
Thank you.
But the Eggheads have done what comes naturally to them, and they still reign supreme over Quizland. I'm afraid you won't be going home with the £2,000. That means the money rolls over to the next show. And join us next time to see then if a new team of challengers have the brains to defeat the Eggheads. £3,000 says they don't. Until then, goodbye.